spoke to the students about their needs as students, parents, clients, and fellow Madisonians. Cultural leaders and I developed strong relationships by creating what we called diversity, dialogue, and dinner. Together we arranged dinners in their environments where adults and children served dinner and conversation to my students. Dialogue flowed as some of the groups entertained us. Hmong people dressed in their traditional costumes and danced for the students. Tribal people told stories and had my students make their traditional fry bread. That was quite an experience. Hispanic teens had my students help make tamales and share their own personal stories. We ate at a black restaurant run by another former student where the students engaged in amazing dialogue and played interesting games. A number of my students became friends with individuals in these groups, and I truly believe bridges were built. Today, I still have an ongoing relationship with many of the people from each of these communities, and they've continued to inspire me to reach out to people in all communities. The second element of Rabbi's philosophy is humility, about which he says, humility is not meekness or self-abnegation, but seeing ourselves as creators, co-workers, and partners with God, or whatever spiritual connection you possess. We are endowed with moral conscience, freedom of will, ability to create, and the capacity to love. All of these gifts are to be used wisely, he said, yet we are not to take credit for them. I find this an important challenge, to keep the ego out of our work. This value helped me become aware of the needs to take on challenges and work to improve communities. I need to share stories about ways I have built bridges. The secret is to acknowledge who is the one to really take credit. And I'm a great one for giving credit to anybody but myself. Most of my knowledge and ideas were built on the shoulders of others who have been my mentors and teachers. They have paved the way for my actions along with my faith beliefs. They deserve most of the credit. The last of the 3 H's is humor, and we certainly see that here in our services every week. The rabbi believed it helps us fashion our lives and heightens the quality of our work. He said, humor is not just joke-telling or kidding around. It's the most serious thing in life. We need to distance ourselves from the world so as not to be swallowed up by it. We need to distance ourselves from ourselves so we remain free from taking ourselves too seriously and insisting we have to be right at all costs. Humor is indispensable toward gaining the proper perspective toward life, toward people, and most of all, toward ourselves. I was amazed to see Rabbi maintain his incredible sense of humor and awe of life as he came to class every day suffering from colon cancer. Even during the final days of his life at the end of the 2nd semester, he was upbeat, funny, and optimistic. Rabbi heightened both my awareness and practice of using humor on a daily basis. It played a prominent role in my marriage and my relationships with others. Because of his impact on the city and state, Madison created the Manfred E. Swarzynski Humanitarian Service Award, which is annually awarded to individuals for outstanding voluntary contributions on behalf of race relations, women's health, justice, conservation, and public service. I learned a great deal from this delightful man who significantly influenced my thinking and valuing others' worth. I believe that people are more important than anything else, and there are no hierarchies in human value. Unfortunately, our culture tends to show more respect for certain people due to their income or status. When we show all people respect and love, we actually empower ourselves in the process. Each person has a rich story to share, and when we dignify both their joys and sorrows, we validate their humanity. Relating to others with a compassionate heart connects us to one another and builds true community. When we value, listen to, and empower others, we are offering them loving gifts. As we travel through Lent and the rest of 2016, I challenge you to live by some of the Rabbi's most profound words that he gave at a college commencement. I wish you an educated heart, a mind that is kept humane by the voice of a compassionate heart, and a heart that beats to the call of a disciplined mind. May thinking the highest, feeling the deepest, and doing the best be the lodestar of your lives. I hope that you reflect on people who have shaped and influenced your life. I'm grateful I had the opportunity to spend time with Rabbi and learn from him, and will always be grateful for having known Rabbi Shlesinski. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. I think I'll cut my comments very shortly since we're already at 11:15. But there was one of the readings I was doing was from a Rabbi Jill Jacobs, and she is the rabbi in residence for the Jewish Funds for Justice, and she talks about the importance of community and how the importance of community is always central to the Jewish, and they don't even call it religion. They say it's more like the Jewish community. And there's a story that I like to share. It's just a very short story. And it's a story about Rav Asi when he was dying. So he was a big rabbi. His nephew entered and he found him crying. He said to him, "Why are you crying? Is there any Torah that you did not study and teach to others? Look, your students sit before you. Are there any acts of loving kindness that you did not do? Furthermore, despite your stature, you humbled yourself and you stayed far from disputes and did not allow yourself to be appointed over the affairs of the community." And Rav Asa replied, "My son, this is why I am crying. What if I'm asked to account for the fact that I was not able to arbitrate disputes among the people of Israel and did not?" And he talks about how when one person leaves the community, it's like destroying the world. And that's a fundamental philosophical premise that the Jewish people hold as community. So I want to leave that as an ending thought. All right, bless you, Nancy. Thank you very much. Very well done. Thank you. All right, so now it is time for us to get in our two big community circles. If this is your first time here, we forgot that. Thank you. My board would not be happy with me forgetting that. All right, let us take our love offerings in our hands. And let us know that this is the opportunity to express the law of giving and receiving and acknowledging the one source from all that comes. So let us say our affirmation. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful.
Jana, orange, please.
Yeah. I don't have the words for you, but you know it. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I can't remember, I know it's
From northeastern Pennsylvania.
northeastern Pennsylvania. So, would you like to bless our offerings tonight?
I will.
Bless you.
And before I do that, I'd like to ask you to join with us that our intention is to see ourselves here living in the villages by this December. We're all ministers here, so please join with me as we bless this collective gift with our collective blessing. A blessing that I like to use is, we are the hands of God.
We give in love and joy, and we receive in abundance. Will you join with me, please? This is a full circulation. We are the hands of God. Together?
We are the hands of God.
We give in love and joy.
We give in love and joy.
And we receive in abundance.
And we receive in abundance.
And now as we bless this collective gift, we give thanks that it is the visible evidence of the invisible substance that is always available to us in its entirety for our wisdom, for our understanding, for our love to bring into manifestation. We are so grateful, and so it is.
Bless you.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so now we can get in our community circles. And if you're new here and you want to get so you can see the screen, if you don't know the prayer, the peace song.
Is that your spot?
I will be now.
Let